This is program 1076. 1076 weeks I have served you and never missed one. What's important this week, what you're going to notice, I think, most, well, you had a full moon on Pluto, so it's a little panicky, eek a bug, but Mars is moving to square Uranus. Now, Uranus has to do with everything from computers to air conditioners to, one thing I noticed right away, airplanes don't do so well above 118 degrees. The air is thin, so they can't take off. So we just had a few days when they had to ground the airplanes. But in general, computers and engines and a lot of things that go around are going to have trouble with heat. Too much heat. It's too hot. Yeah. So here's the way it looks. Got Venus trining Jupiter, sextiling Mercury. There's a lot of nice soft talk around. And Mars kind of moving off from the sextile to Venus. The Sun's going through the last part of Cancer. And at what point it squares Uranus at 28 degrees. That's about 6 days, 7 days from where you are now. There's going to be interruptions, yes. And of course, that full moon on Pluto gives us a panicky time when there's going to be things like volcanoes and terrorists, and we call it eek a bug when Pluto gets set off by a full moon. That's your reptile brain, the brain stem and the little bulb on the end where all the reptile instincts are. So we call it eek a bug. It's flight or fight, little moments of panic. So I've marked those for you here on the chart. Looking at it day by day, let's see how it works. If you're on the Thursday night show on July 13th, there we go. You got a square to Saturn late, about 11, 12 o'clock. Not too much fun. There is a trine to the Sun. You feel like getting stuff done, but there's not enough time, not enough money. Friday morning, here's a nice trine to Mars. Get out and do something physical. Seems to work good till somewhat after noontime, about 1 or 2 o'clock. The moon shifts into Aries. Starts to feel a little different, doesn't it? More energy. But look out, right here on Saturday, July 15th, lies the Pluto square. Pluto with the full moon on it starts kind of nice. Here's a sextile to Venus. It's sexy Saturday morning. Stay in bed late. Ha ha ha. In the afternoon, here's a nice trine to Mercury. Kids are happy, but everybody's overdoing it. Here's the opposition to Jupiter. And Jupiter is just too much clowning around, too much noise. It's all those rich people trying to grab everything. Finally, here's Pluto. Pluto comes in about 9, 10 o'clock, the square to Pluto. Eek a bug! Panicky. So Saturday night, there's problems due to this Pluto thing. And you'll feel a little panicky every now and then. I actually get bugs. Sometimes it's geckos, but mostly it's bugs. So, yeah. Sunday morning, well, here's a trine to Saturn. And, whoops, didn't watch the screen. There we are. So things settle down a bit Sunday morning, but it's not easy because the sun is in square here just before lunch, around lunchtime. And here's Mars in square, and here's the conjunction to Uranus. So here's this Uranus-Mars square going off a little early on Sunday. And heat problems knock out things. A lot of my equipment doesn't operate very well when there's too much heat. Metals get bigger and expand and don't make contacts like they should or something. I don't know. Whatever it is. Sunday is chaotic. And you feel like you're all alone sometimes, huh? On Sunday. On Monday, the moon moves into Taurus. Feels a lot better, a lot more mellow. Here's a nice sextile to Neptune. You regain some faith here Monday night after dinner. And here, late Monday night, actually Tuesday morning, about 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, there's a trine to Pluto. So we got control of things again after that horrible Saturday night, which may have sirens in it, and bugs, and panickiness. It settles down and we find out how the bugs got in the house. Tuesday morning, I can fix that screen. There's problems with Mercury in the middle of Tuesday. Walking, talking, communicating is difficult. But we can get things done. Here's a nice sextile to the Sun and Mars Tuesday afternoon and evening. And this is the time to get out and get physical. On Wednesday, the moon has moved into Gemini. The vibes change again. And this is an interesting square to Neptune. Now, Neptune's not having fun, but Jupiter is. Remember Jupiter and Neptune on a seesaw. Neptune is what the Trump care and Obamacare and, all the doctors and the prescriptions. Jupiter is the rich people. Who gets it all, the rich, Jupiter, or the doctors, drug people, Neptune? So here it's the rich people. And, there should be some love around here. Late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Because there's a nice conjunction to Venus. And Venus is always nice. You'll see it early in the morning, a few hours before the sun comes up. There'll be the moon on Venus. A nice time. So, stay in bed Thursday night. Thursday morning, Saturn shows his head here on Thursday. And when he does, everything gets colder and dried out, and there's not enough money, and it gets kind of fearful and scary. But there's a sextile to Uranus Thursday night, and common sense clicks in, and it all seems a little better. On Friday, July 21st, we're moved into Cancer, and we're starting to feel that, eek, a bug. It's going to come up real strong here Friday night. Now, you could get sucked into this because here's Neptune saying, come on, have a drink. Relax. Make yourself fuzzy. Look out, man, because this is setting you up. If you go out and get loaded here Friday night, you're not going to like what happens afterwards, because here's the opposition to Pluto, and Jupiter is a square, and the full moon went off here, and Friday night, Saturday morning, there's sirens, there's panicky feelings. Eek! What's going on? Is that a policeman in my rearview mirror? It goes on all the way through Saturday. On Saturday, here's a square to Uranus in the afternoon and evening. It gets better in the late evening. We have a new moon here. This is at about 1 degree of Leo, and it's not a bad new moon, all things said. It does square Uranus, though, so we're going to have trouble with electronics. Feeling of aloneness. Get those poor homeless people out of that park. Here's Mars. The homeless people could fight back. Yeah, Uranus here is homeless, and they're ticked off. So they're going to fight. Upshot is, Saturday night, Sunday morning, I'll get more eek and chaos and anger. Your weekends aren't going so well. Late Sunday night, here's a sextile to Jupiter. It's about 10, 11 o'clock at night. And there's some wisdom here. Aha! Now we can relax a little bit. Feels a little better. Continues pretty much through Monday the 24th. And that's the way it is. this week. Third week in July 2017.